group that strips clothes off zombies opens fire on them, sparking a fierce gunfight. Will's leg is tragically pierced by a bullet. Zombies, drawn by the gunshots, start moving towards them. In this moment, Victor decides to help. They take cover in Will's car, but Victor's men aren't as lucky. In order to deal with the opposite enemy, they did not notice the zombies approaching behind them, and they were eaten alive by the zombies. Victor realizes they must leave immediately or be caught by the gang. A sure death. He presses on Will's wound, demanding Alicia's location, but Will insists he doesn't know who Alicia is. Then, Victor notices an address on a box in the car, the Franklin Hotel. His cavalry had investigated and knew Alicia was taken to a bunker in a hotel. Seeing the box, Victor surmises Alicia must be there. He decides to abandon Will and escape alone. Will panics and finally admits knowing Alicia and even Victor, having heard of him from Alicia, but Victor doesn't care. He presses down hard on Will's wound, causing him to scream, then bursts out of the car. Victor fights off the zombies, mounts a horse, and prepares to leave the area. Will, seeing the approaching zombies, struggles to close the car door with all his might. Morgan is woken from sleep by the sound of a child crying inside the submarine. He can't remember how many times little Morgan has cried, but he gets up again to play the role of super dad and soothe the child back to sleep. Grace, also awakened, comes over to ask what's happening. Morgan guesses little Morgan is hungry, and their current food is not suitable for a child's long-term consumption. With no other option, Grace dons her protective suit and heads out to find baby formula, setting a timer for 6 hours. She knows better than anyone about radiation, even in protective gear. One shouldn't be exposed to radiation for more than 6 hours. This is Grace's first venture outside in 3 months, and she finds the world covered in radioactive dust. She quickly reaches a small town and enters a convenience store, where she's lucky to find a can of baby formula on the floor. Grace checks it with her detector. The radiation level is low, but the can is punctured by rats, likely spoiled. Fortunately, there are a few more cans on the shelf, one with a radiation level of 2000, which is acceptable. Suddenly, she hears noises outside and quickly hides under the shelf, causing items to fall and make noise. Grace hurriedly put the detector back and did not dare to make a sound. The people who came in were a man and a woman who were obviously looking for supplies. The man leans down near the spilled formula, almost spotting Grace, when a rat scurries onto her foot. The woman screams in fright, and the man, without hesitation, fires his gun, hitting one of the formula cans. They leave cursing, and Grace emerges from her hiding place. She picks up the remaining can, but its radiation level is 15,000, making it unusable. Frustrated, Grace throws the can aside. Outside, the pair have disappeared.